communicate with the people in your business? What would you transform? I want you to just focus on that for a second, because here's my belief. I believe we can design our destiny, and I believe we can speak to our destiny, and in doing that, I believe, because I don't know what she's going to talk about, but I believe whatever you need to be transformed, it's going to happen.
Well,
it only
I
gets
would
worse.
like to.
It only gets worse.
I'll take it over from here.
Thank you very much, Stacey.
Because I have the privilege. We affectionately call her Mama Emma, for those of us that work with her and that know who she is. But she earned that title of distinction by the way she's lived her life despite the odds and what it looked like. She's been able to create for herself an educational repertoire that is just from Harvard University from starting out at Queensborough College, a community college, to the doors of Harvard University, to be able to share her knowledge for what she did as a superintendent of schools, changing the lives of children in curriculum, for her to be able to transform all of her years of knowledge into her coaching programs to transform the lives of those that she works with. She has the humor and wit that could rival all of those on the big stage, but her heart is so huge. She cares about those that she works with. It's not just about getting clients or racking up a sale. It's about the lives that are changed as a result of the work that she takes the time to do. She gets in deep, and she helps you to go into places that you might not feel comfortable addressing. But once you sit with Dr. Emma Fraser-Pendleton, your life will never be the same. Once she speaks into your life, once she's able to use her gifting and help you see a different vision for what you're doing, you will never be the same again. So we're excited that we get to work with her, that we know who she is, that we are recipients of her love and concern, but more importantly, we're witnesses to how she is changing the world, transforming lives, one person at a time. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we bring, as security brings her around the side.
Well, that's
security?
Security! You tripped over the mic, you fell over the stage.
Oh, Lord, we're going to fire security.
What is going on?
Security!
Right. So we turn it over to you. We thank you. And on behalf of all of us as women who you've opened the door for, who you've held the space for, we publicly say thank you and ashe.
All right, Ashe.
And the fellas, too.
Over to yours. Take it away.
She will turn it into some incredible life history, and you sit there in amazement and say, who is that person? But, you know, you want Stacey to do that for you. I'm so happy to be here, but I have a conundrum. You know what a conundrum is? It's a problem that can't be solved. They put up an eagle like me before the chicken dinner. Now, that's a problem, because people's mind is on chicken, and I'm going to be talking about eagles. So all of you that stay, I promise you that they'll save some chicken for you. But when you understand what I'm saying? You never want to be the speaker during lunch or before dinner. And while this may be the empowerment hour, you know what these brothers did to me? They put me up before the chicken. So that's my story. So what am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about my own experience and how it led to my ministry, because I also am an ordained minister. So I'm an ordained minister. I'm an educator. I'm a life coach. I was a wife for 43 years. I got married at 6. I was a wife for 43 years, have 2 grown sons, 3 grandsons. So I've lived a very, very, very full life. So I have the benefit of having wisdom. You see, so I can look at you and I know when you're bullcrapping, because been there, done that, saw that, exercised that, cut into that, did surgery into that, possibly even lived that. So it's hard for you to fool me, not because I'm so bright, but because I've lived long enough to be there, see what was going on, to exercise it, and to talk to you about it. And that's how my work grew out of my ministry, and my ministry grew out of my misery. So I want you to remember that. Often the thing that you are called to do comes from the pain that you've had to experience. So my mantra is, as a mindset reset coach, I take you from your pain to your passion, to your purpose, so you can get your profit. Because if you're crazy, you're not going to be successful. If your mind is screwed up, you're not even going to know what to do with the cash if you earn it. Because you ever see people who hit the lottery, does it make them rich? 85% of the people that hit the lottery, their minds are crazy. They are broke within 5 years. So money is not what does it. It's having an even balance and a mindset. And most of us, because of the trauma and the tragedy that triumphs in our life before we get to our victory, we have to have a mindset reset. And this has to be done periodically. You don't have it once. It's not like circumcision. You understand that? It's not like, I remember George, don't tell George that I'm telling you this. But we were in foster homes, very toxic foster homes. And you know that circumcision, you see the men wincing when I say this, that circumcision is done when a baby is before he's 8 days old. Because we were foster children, everything was done to us at very odd times in life because there was nobody really to protect us. So George was circumcised at 9 years old. They told him that it was going to, and I remember when they came to pick him up, he was screaming. I can still see it. He was screaming as they took him down, the strong man. I don't remember who the male was, but they took him downstairs, and he was screaming because 9 years old is not when you circumcise a boy. So life has a way of cutting you. Life can have a way of cutting you when you least expect it. So we need a mindset reset. So here's what I'm going to talk about. Let's first talk about this pain of life. Pain has an interesting attribute. When you have suffered enough, you are ready to triumph if you can persevere, what Stacy talked about. So you have to ask yourself the question, what do I do with my pain so that I can find my passion? So your pain, and I'm a very literal speaker, your pain is the crap in your life. Now remember that. So let's talk about crap. Every house that you visit that has any semblance of anybody that has any financial status, what does it have in common? It has a front door, some form of kitchen, some form of bathroom, and in every bathroom there is a toilet. And what is that toilet for? It's for crap. And everybody has one. And you don't leave your crap in the toilet, you flush it. So everybody's got crap in their life. Everybody's got a bathroom, everybody's got crap. So you say, Emma, but I flush my crap. That's true. But let me tell you what really happens to really good crap that turns you into your triumph. Think about the manure that goes on your garden. Do you know what the most powerful and most potent manure is? It comes from horses and fecal matter, and then they mix it with nitrates, and then you go to the store and you pay for crap to put on your crop for the seed that you sow so it will blossom. So here's what I'm telling you. Take crap in your life, turn it into something rich, transform it, and water your own misery, which is your seed, which is your pain, and watch it grow. You understand? So often we are trying to flush the crap when in fact the crap is the thing that gave us the perseverance, that gives us the strength to make it. You understand? So when we go into psychoanalysis and psychotherapy, they'll take you back to regression, or you're afraid of water because your mother left you in the bathtub and all of that, and we have to work through that. And that is some kind of psychological work that you may have to do. But I am telling you, folks, I have had enough crap to grow 40 acres and a mule in my life. 40, you understand? I'm not looking for anybody else to give me those 40 acres because I've watered my own 40 acres and a mule with the crap and the tears that I have shed. But I took that crap. I didn't know it in the beginning. I was like the rest of you. If you get on your shoe, you walk and dog crap. What is that smell? But I learned that the more crap I had, the bigger crop I was going to get. So I started to say somewhere in my 20s, I got married at 19, was going with my husband since I was 16. In those days, that's what you did. And so since, of course, in those days, virginity was highly prized, and you were just panting for the 3 years you went together. How many of you know what I'm talking about? How many of you know what? Nobody raised their hand, Trevor. I am from a different era. No, but Trevor, I'm alone up here. I'm alone, Trevor. I'm alone. All right. The virginity. It was highly prized in those days. I don't know if you can get a quarter for it now. But the point is, so you married. You're married. So at 19, I was married. And at 21, I already had 2 kids. I had a high school diploma. That's all I had. My husband had a high school diploma. I went to a vocational high school because my foster mother said to me, this is how you're going to pick your high school. We ain't picking it because you're smart. And we're not picking it because you want to become a certain, pick a certain profession. You're picking it based on if you can walk to it. That was the criteria. If you can walk to your high school, then you can go there because I'm not paying for you to be on a bus. So I picked a high school that I could walk to, even though it was a very, very long walk. I picked a high school, and I decided to become a beautician because that was my foster mother. That's what she was. And I figured if I did what she did, then she would love me. So even when a person is mean to you, if they have a patriarchal or matriarchal position in your life, you want them to love you. It's crap. It was crap. It was crap. So I took that up in high school, married my husband, was not good at it. Now, you see, I have that hair that comes from that slave experience when somebody visited the out shack and was with some kind of grandmother, because you know this ain't African hair. So I had this hair, and so I'm in beauty school in high school, and they put me with all the black girls that hair was being pressed and curled. So if I was going to do their hair, they were going to press and curl my hair, which made no sense because my hair is basically straight. So I went through 4 years of high school having my hair pressed and curled. That's crap, ain't it? I burnt myself the other day. They burnt me up. They take that, you know, and you put it on the fire. And how many of y'all remember? Trevor, how long is the people in here? I don't know what's going on. They don't remember nothing up in here. Go get the older people. Where are the older people? I can't come to a conference like that if you don't get some older people in here, because they got to relate. Does anybody in here remember a pressing iron? Yes. Well, thank you. Could you raise your hand higher? Put that in the camera. Thank you. Amen. She didn't need it. She made that straight. She didn't need it. All right. Okay. So my point is, so I'm married. I've got kids, 21. I became a born-again believer at 17. I mean, I had to do something. I come from this toxic foster child. My head was all screwed up, but I was a bright little girl, and you can see I was very shy, and I didn't talk much, except for once they brought me home from the hospital. They didn't have to give me, you know, a pacifier because I was talking. They couldn't put it in my mouth anyway. So, you know, it's funny that your gift shows up early. At least it did in me. So I'm married, and I'm basically ignorant. I wanted to be educated. I wanted what some of those white girls had in class next to me, what some of those girls had in class. And they were going and taking Regents, but nobody ever pulled me out of class to take Regents. And I remember saying to one of them, Jeannie, what are you taking? She says, oh, I'm taking tests to go to college. Nobody ever came to get me. So I said, oh, my God. So that never happened. So at the age of 26, by divine intervention, I started college. I had 2 kids. They were 4 and 5. I'm 26, and I start community college. The long and short of it, it was part of my destiny. All the crap that I had been through, no help in school, no insight. How many people remember encyclopedias? Well, thank God, Trevor. You know, the actual encyclopedia with a book, how many of you remember that? And your parents bought one every year to keep it. How many of you remember that? Oh, amen. I'm being relevant. So I didn't have any of that in school. So I'm in college at 26, long story short. Because I had the right husband, because I had the right husband. I prayed about it, got the right husband. I stayed in school for 15 years, higher education, raising my 2 kids, coming home, cooking. But the crap that had happened to me in my early childhood was beginning to surface in my in my early 30s. And I was beginning to suffer from depression, really bad depression. But I didn't know anything about post-traumatic stress. The crap was coming back. I didn't know how to flush it, and I didn't know how to turn it into anything else. I was just praying to God every night, saying my scripture, and that helps. But you got to do some psychological digging. I needed a mindset reset, and all the mothers in the church couldn't pray away what had happened to me. It was only when I understood the value of the crap, and I turned it into something valuable. All that energy, all that pain, all that rage, all that anger, all that disappointment. And I put it into my studies. And I put it into being the best little wife and keeping the best little 2.5 children clean and beautiful and being that all-encompassing woman and studying the Word of God and being someone that I understood that my pain was invaluable. So I took that pain, and for 15 years, I put it into hundreds and hundreds of credits, hundreds and hundreds of credits. But you see, when I was 26, I had asked God, I told him I want to be educated. I want to be educated. So after I had earned 4 degrees, I was an administrator in the Board of Ed. I moved up very, very fast, still carrying the crap. Just want you to know, still carrying the crap. Had a big old baggage of it. Still carrying the crap. Even though I was having a good crop. But one day I came into my office, and there sitting on my desk was an application to Harvard University. I said to my secretary, where did this come from? She says, I don't know. I walked around, walked to one of the other young administrators. He said, Emma, I saw it, and I knew it was you. I knew it was you. Long story short, I did get that fellowship to Harvard. So at the age of 45 years old, with my crap, 2 kids, I went off to Harvard University for my first sleepaway college experience at 45 years old. And I remember my husband was so concerned that some of the young men, because it was a co-ed dorm, the age, generation, and perpetual virginity had passed. And so he was so afraid that someone might look at me that he bought me this outfit up to here. And I said to him, Rick, I will be in the dorm with the most gorgeous, young, beautiful women. If anybody looks at me, you have to forgive me because I'm going to take advantage of that. Because I'm coming out of my room to see if anybody is going to look at me. But it didn't happen because I was the oldest person in Cronkite dorm at Harvard University. And so I became like the mother of the dorm. I was such a novelty, married. They were all single. And so I remember when my husband visited, he came up to see me like every 2 weeks. And I had the small room right next to the bathroom. And my husband said, don't tell anybody because I know we're not really streaming to thousands of people. He said, Emma, I can't really be affectionate with you in this room because all these people are on this floor and they know what I'm doing up here. I said, honey, they do it every night in the week. You just got here. Don't worry, they're not married. We would be the only ones that are not being intimate. So he came and I stayed at Harvard a year and a half and did my research with Columbia and IBM, and I did it on team building. The story was, but I still had the crap. I still had the crap. I was successful, but I still had the crap. I hadn't downloaded the major crap yet. So as I returned back home after a year of doing my research and all of that, began to have trouble with my 2 sons. The marriage got difficult because I had been away for a year and a half, and you're gaining something on one side and you think it's all working perfect, but I'm going to tell you folks, if you going into a committed relationship, get ready for some additional crap. I don't care how much you love each other, because crap flows downhill, especially in the summer when things get hot in your life. So that was the pain part. So the pain part is once I learned how to deal with that, once I understood and said, look, this is my story, this is my song, and then I started getting speaking engagements. I spoke at school to people, and then the speaking engagements just came in, and you know what they wanted to hear about? not about Harvard. Not about Harvard. Not about the 4 degrees.
Black History Month
they
is a
wanted
great
to
time
hear
to
about
learn
the
about the people
backstory
of
how I overcome
In order
to go
to
to
stay
those
in
things.
the game, you
So I said,
inevitably have
this
to
crap
change
has
the
value.
To change
There's
the game,
some value in this crap. So I knew then not to get up and just introduce myself as a Harvard graduate, but to get up and say, let me tell you where I've been.
The finish line.
You see, I clean up nice. Let me tell you where I've been. Let me tell you some of my story. And that would take them out in the aisles, from whether I went to fancy places on Fifth Avenue or whether I spoke at St. John's or Queens College or whether I spoke in churches. People wanted to know that you suffered. They wanted to know that you could identify. They wanted to know that God took your mess and turned it into a miracle, that he took your tragedy and turned it into a triumph, that he took your scars and turned them into stars. That's what people like. They identify with your crap. So I'm telling you, take your crap, turn it into something, and water your crop, and watch how you will grow. Now, here's the point. When you're converting crap into something that is valuable, here are the 3 most important strategies for converting crap. Be honest about your crap and don't add to it. If you didn't go, you know, people get on stage, they were drug addicts, they were alcoholics, they took crack, they lost the leg, they lost the arm, they were infertile, they had in vitro, they got married, they got divorced, they worked in Africa, Staten Island, and you sitting there saying, I don't think this is true. So when you convert your crap to water your crop, be truthful. You don't have to exaggerate. Just focus on the pain and what you went through. Be honest. Everybody feels like they have to get up and tell this horrific story. Tell your story. Because I guarantee if you lived past 10 years old, you have suffered. Because that's the world we live in. So that's the first thing, is your crap should be original when you're converting your crap. The second thing about your crap is that when you tell your crap story, understand that people are interested in how you overcame the crap. Don't just leave it at the crap level. You have to say, these were the success strategies that I went from crap to crap to crap to creativity to success. See, that's what they're interested in. So you got to take them from the bottom to the top. So the conversion, so they can follow you down. Don't leave people in the crap stage. It stinks, literally. So you have, and then the third thing is capitalize on your crap by showing people that they can write books about it, that they can design universities from it, that they can start virtual platforms from it, because if you haven't suffered, you're not worth having a stage. You shouldn't be on it. You shouldn't be on it. If you haven't suffered, then you shouldn't be on anybody's stage. And what is the suffering? Your suffering is especially designed for you by a higher power. Now, you can say, but Emma, I was the one that took the drugs. I was the one that became the... God didn't have anything to do with that. Well, let me tell you something. Everything that we do has a reason and a season. And whatever you have suffered, whatever your pain, whatever mistakes, whether God did it, you did it, your grandmother did it, you tripped over the dog, you had an accident in your car, it all has a reason. Find a way to use it, to utilize it. So when I got to Harvard University with my crap, I was somewhat intimidated, even though they paid me to go there. They paid my full ship and everything, my tuition and everything. I was in the premier dorm. I was intimidated because this was Harvard University. Well, guess what I found out? At Harvard, my crap was even more invaluable, because when I had the interview with my doctoral professor, he said, "Tell me something about yourself, Emma." And I told him. He said to me, "That's amazing that you got here." So he was fascinated by my crap. He said, "Oh my," because Harvard is made up of a lot of kids who've had it to the manner been born. How many of you know what that expression is? They were born with the silver spoon. They expected to go. They had little onesies that said, I'm going to Harvard. But we didn't. We didn't. So when you make it on the ladder of success and you find your passion and you're up on the stage and you're speaking, do you know that your crap is now even more valuable? Because it fuels you. It fuels you. It's the gasoline that ignites you. Because when you think about what you have come through, when you're sitting there waiting to speak on the stage and you say, oh my God, I'm actually getting up on this, because it never gets old. I don't know how many of you are public speakers, but how many of you still get some butterflies in your stomach? And how many of you have spoken at least 50 times? At least, how many of you spoken at least 100 times? Still get butterfly. Do you still ask your question, I wonder if this crap is going to fly? I wonder if this crap is going to fly. Are they going to believe me again? Didn't I say that last week in Los Angeles? Well, I got to tell you, really good crap always sells. Because it's true, if you own it and it's yours, it sells every single time. You know what that's? I'll give you an example. It's like a pretty woman walking in the room. A man will never get tired of pretty women walking in a room. He will never say, many of them. Get one and walk here now and see what happens. See if Trey and Trevor suddenly don't have some business to come up here to do. They never get, or I'll take it, I'll put it on us females. Let some handsome, buff, muscular, chocolate drop walk in here. And he's going to be speaking. I don't care if you're 20, 40, 60, 80, going on 100, blind and deaf. But if he walks past you, a whiff, and somebody says, you go, what? So the point is, it never gets old. So just like looking at each other never gets old, your crap never gets old. It's always valuable, because I'm labeling your crap your pain. And it fuels your passion, and it takes you to your purpose. It takes you. So look over your life. What's hurting you? What's hurting you? What do you say, God, just take this from me. I don't want this no more. I don't want that. I want to kill that man that I go home to. That kid is terrible. I suffer from this. I'm getting older. I can't even lay down in 5-inch heels. And all the women around, you know, I'm often in the company of Stacy. Now, I told her, don't be standing next to me looking like that. When you introduce me, go sit down and let me get up on the stage by myself. Because I'm not in her league anymore. You know, I've been there. Well, I never was in that league. I never had all those curves and bumpers and headlights. But the point is, but I know that I was there at one time. And that God blessed me. And that I have lived to become a woman of wisdom. So I can look at the young girls, the young women that are in here in their beautiful 90-inch heels. And I just say, God, if they fall off of that, do we have an emergency medical system to treat them? But the point is, I was once that way. I once was a child. I once was a young woman. I once was a new mother. But now I have lived. I have lived to become Mama Emma. Now, let me tell you all something, because I know we're not live streaming. When the young women first started calling me Mama Emma, I would go to my room and say, nah, I ain't taking this crap. What Mama Emma? I got on my St. John suit. I weigh 120. Mama Emma what? Mama Emma who? And then I had to acknowledge it was a term of endearment. I had lived long enough to earn the respect of another generation. So I had to take my crap, reinvent it, and say, okay, if I'm Mama Emma, that means I'm Queen Emma. And that means, you know, I'm going to have all these young puppies around me now, and they're going to be looking at me when I talk, so I'm capitalizing on my crap. That's all I'm telling you. I don't have, and they want to hear what I got to say, I'm going to capitalize on it. But you know what? I didn't have to be here. I could have had some disease. I could be using a walker. But I'm going to tell you one thing, if I get a walker, I'm going to let Stacy bling it out. Because that woman would bling out a hospital gown. She really knows how to work her crap. So my point is, so your passion and your purpose are all connected to your pain. Now, when you've done the pain work, when you've converted, and I've given you the 3 steps to convert your crap into something that you can use to water the seed of your life, which takes you to your passion, which takes you to your on purpose. Now you can talk about your profit. There are 3 levels of profit. There is the profit of self and owning and knowing yourself. There is the profit of serving others. And all of those will bring you some kind of cash flow depending upon how you market it. You can be profitable operating out of your pain, your passion, and your purpose. It will pay every time, but you got to know your natural gifts. So no matter how you suffered, whatever your pain was, I am sure that we come here to this event and we see Shay and Trevor. They got crap too. Don't think they don't. They have crap. How many of you are willing to admit that you have crap? I'm telling you, it's a crapshoot. We all got it. Don't hide it. Manufacture it. Produce it. Put your name on. This is Dr. Pam Loving crap. This is Dr. Emma Fraser-Pendleton crap. This is Shay Brown crap. And what did he do with it? He became a sales expert. I don't know what he did in his other life. I don't know what his crap is, but I know his crap is connected to his purpose, and I know his purpose is connected to his profit. Because he couldn't do this if he didn't suffer. He didn't wake up one day and say, I will be a sales expert. Something went wrong before it went right. Wow, I want you to say that. Something goes wrong before it can go right. So my point to you is, in life, is do not avoid what has happened. Do not hide. Now, you don't have to tell all your business. You don't have to tell, and know who you tell your business to. I want to go to what Stacy said, and I teach this on my Fire and Ice call every Wednesday. It's where we talk about relationships from the bedroom to the boardroom. And I was teaching at the later part of last year about this idea of sharing your ideas. Be careful how you share, how you remanufactured it, and how you converted it. When you get an initial idea and a new vision, I want you to think about it like a new embryo. In my day, when we got pregnant, like an hour later, we went and told everybody in the church. Young women don't do that now. They usually wait for the first trimester till they got that sonogram so they know that the baby's going to be healthy and they're going to carry it for the other 2 trimesters. That is the way of a new idea. Do not go out into the world and tell everybody your deepest vision. Sometimes you can't even tell it to the person that breathes on the pillow with you because it's between you and God. You got to nurture it. You got to feed it. You know how when we mothers, how many women in here were ever pregnant and gave birth? At least I got some hands on that, Trevor. Good Lord. So you know that you have to, the minute you find out you're pregnant, you have to take care of yourself, and you take special vitamins, and you don't do certain things. That is the way of a new idea. You got to hold it. You got to nurture it. You got to nurture, because somebody may tell you that your new idea is ugly. They may tell you that your baby is ugly and you can't do it. You need to abort that idea. And you go, but no, you know how long it took me to get pregnant with this? They're messing with your crap. Don't let anybody do that. So keep your idea to yourself. So in closing, because like I said, I will not be stampeded as an eagle trying to get to their chicken. I will not do that. So I'm honoring the fact that I know things are going out there in the kitchen. So I want to say that I do have a new book that's coming out, but this is a preview. It's called Soar, Secrets to Taking Flight in Life. It's the inimitable quotes of Emma Fraser-Pendleton. It's my own quotes. I'll give you one for instance. It says, if I kill your dog and you kill my cat, who wins? Who wins? There's one on aging. I remember I thought I would be young forever, but now I can't remember when I thought that. So it's things like, it's my look at life. It's my crap converted into quotes. It's my pain into my passion, into my purpose. So I want all of you to understand that whatever you've been through, God has a purpose. You take it, you grow your crop, you water the ground that you've been given. Every one of us has a plot of life. Every one of us has a seed. Every one of us has a purpose, and we have to sow. If you want to sow, you have to water, you have to nurture, you have to put stuff on that ground so that it is rich and it will bring forth a full harvest. So, in the ending of what I'm going to say is, regardless of your pain, I want you to look at it differently now. Your pain is your gain. Your pain is, now it doesn't mean you walk around every single day wincing from it. It means that you can get some distance, you look back on it and you say, God, look how I have overcome. Look at me. I'm a shiny new penny, and I was in the mud one day. Nobody thought I would make it. Even I didn't think I would, and I have made it. And I've lived to see this day. So now I'm going to end on this last expression because I want you to remember, and I want you to repeat it after me. My crap becomes the fertilizer for my crop. Let's go forward and sow a good seed. Amen. Oh, okay.
Was that awesome or was that awesome? Yes and yes. Absolutely incredible. She told us about our crap and what we can do to transform and convert that. Amazing. You see why we said what we said. Aren't these words of wisdom? Do you see how she's converted all of her knowledge, everything that she's gone through, into an amazing, soaring platform that allows us to engage and interact on a whole nother level? You are just simply the best. What is that song? I forget who sings it, and I won't sing now, Che, I promise.
Simply the best.
Yes,
It's okay. It's okay. I have rhythms myself.
I'm trying to spare you, but clearly, simply the best.
Thank you.
What
Thank
you
you.
shared, I hear you, and every time I hear you, it's like a fresh anointing. That's how she speaks. That's how she flows. You just got it like that. So if you are ready in the feed, because I saw you posting. I saw everybody was like, oh, this is too good. At Dr. Emma Fraser-Pendleton. Put it in the feed. We need to know what your takeaway was. What was it that you received? What was it that resonated with you? What's your crap? Put it in the feed.
And the feed is, where can I go?
Dr. Emma Fraser-Pendleton at virtualnetworkinglive.com. I believe you can still go right.
Yep. Virtualnetworkinglive.com.
And you can tag Dr. Emma Fraser-Pendleton in your post, #peak performer. So go ahead and put that out there. Let the world know.
Let me repeat that number for the gift.
They may be moving from their office into their car and they missed part of the presentation and they didn't hear everything. But if you recap it, if you put what resonated with you, they'll be able to hear the words. And they can go ahead and text 718-305-1426 with the word SOAR. So if they send that word SOAR, then they'll be able to get first announcements on this book that is coming out.
Well, they're going to get the preview of the book. They're going to get.
So the number once again. What's the number once again? Let's give the number.
718-305.
So go. Everyone, just get your cell number out. Get your cell phone out and type in 718. In the text message section. What's the rest of it again?
305.
Right. 305.
1426.
1426, and they have to text the word
SOAR. SOAR.
Okay, SOAR. And then when they text the word, what happens?
Then it goes to a link, and I get all your private information.
You're not supposed to say it like that. You're not
Yes,
supposed to
yes,
say it like
yes,
that.
yes,
You're supposed to say you're going to
She's
get this
gonna
gift.
tell you the
You're supposed to say you're going to get this
You're
gift.
going to get this amazing, all
Jesus.
color
We
graphic.
worked this hard to say
This
you're going to
hard.
get your information. That's not.
32
That's the other
quotes.
side of it. That's the other side.
I put too much crap in there.
Yeah, so much crap in it. But awesome job as always. And I'm just honored and excited that I get to call you my own mama. And I share you with Darlene Brown and the rest of us who have claimed that Darlene says that you left her at the hospital.
Yes.
And I said she found me on the side of the road. And we are all just excited to be around her to soak in all of the wisdom and the love and the knowledge that she has to share. So if you felt that today, please put that in the feed. Share out 72 hours of power. This is absolutely amazing what we're doing here, what we're transforming in lives. And Shay, it's just getting started.
The best is still yet to come. I mean, this is just, I don't know how you follow this, but we're going to follow this. This is, Emma was here last year with us.
Yes.
And she decided to come back again. Can you imagine that? And so what have you enjoyed most about your time so far today? We still got a long way to go.
It's the energy. It's meeting all of the people. It's that flow that goes on when we're eating breakfast. It's the force when you're walking up and down the hallway. It just energizes you, and it's a meeting. It's like coming home, because as speakers and motivational people, we are always giving out, but now we have an opportunity to receive, and you make new connections. Absolutely. Because as my brother George says, he turns contacts into contracts. You could be networking. This time next year, somebody in these rooms or who spoke could change the direction of your life and reconvert your crap.
Reconvert it.
Reconvert your crap. Hashtag reconvert your crap. 72 hours of power.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. Once again, everyone, make sure you head on over to, well, it's gone now, but head on over to get the book, SOAR, which is 318-705.
No, 718-305.
It's a test. It's a test.
1426.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I don't care what they say about you. You're okay with me. I'm going to let them know I don't really care what they say behind your back. You're okay with me. And trust me, I've had the spanking, so I know that she makes it work. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Get the next person queued up and let us know who is next
Love you.
in the house.
Security's waiting for you right here.
Yeah. Be careful. Be careful going over the edge. Be careful. Okay.
I went
we don't
right
want anybody
down
falling
the
off,
front
we don't want them tripping off. I tell you what, boy, it's just rocking and rolling.
It is. And you know what? I'm going to be here in a different form in a few hours, but just the excitement of being here, being a part of the first half of 72 Hours of Power. This is just absolutely amazing what we're seeing, what we're experiencing. This is why we do what we do.
This is why we do what we do.
We bring these amazing people to the platform. We share our information, and I know some of you have been
I'll be right back while you mention that.
Sure. Everybody just froze in their time and space. They didn't want to miss one word that she had to say because she was talking about reconverting your crap. All of us are excited about our space.